We are Nicki and Carlo, and our family live in Positano, Italy, nearly 500 steps from the road, but surrounded by fruit and olive trees and with a fabulous view. Our garden overlooks the sea and we grow our own food. We show you what life is really like on the Amalfi Coast. So please subscribe and welcome to the Positano Diaries. Everyone has gone away. Sky and Nicola are exploring the Dominican Republic. Elizabeth and family are skiing in Austria, and Celine is also skiing, working the ski season in the Alps. Mariana is in Sharm el-Sheikh, and Carlo's brother has gone to Thailand. So we decided to pack our bags and head back up to Tuscany. Carlo and I like to play a game called Where in the World Would We Live When We Can't Climb 500 Steps? We love our home in Positano and we will always keep it in the family. It will never be sold. But we all love to dream, don't we? What if we lived somewhere else? What if we could drive up to the house? One day we might not be able to climb 500 steps, so it's time to start researching for our dream.
Ok, non vi dovete preoccupare, non stiamo di nuovo partendo per l'Inghilterra, ma abbiamo deciso di esplorare più le nostre zone dell'Italia intendo dire, e quindi siamo in Toscana.
Siamo in Toscana?
Sì, precisamente a Orbetello.
So the problem is we don't know enough places other than the Amalfi Coast well enough.
Grazie.
So the only solution obviously is to start exploring a bit more around Italy. So we thought we'd start in Tuscany. And seeing as this week Sky's away, Elizabeth's away, everybody's away, we thought we would come up to Tuscany and just go around, look at the areas, different areas, and see what we like.
Giusto per dirvi, già col cibo qua siamo davvero ok. Siamo all'altezza di Positano, ma anche forse di più buono, perché davvero abbiamo mangiato qualcosa come antipasto prima che ci ha fatto capire che qui si mangia davvero bene. Poi vi facciamo vedere.
Vedi, now this does have a big slice of bread at the bottom of this soup and it's very... I don't think I can eat that. I don't eat the rest of it.
Se non lo vuoi lo mangerò io, eh?
Ok.
Questo è quello che sta mangiando Nicki.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that bit there, but the rest of it's nice.
E questo è quello che mangerò io. Spaghetti allo scoglio.
We had lunch in Orbetello, a pretty town situated on a strip of land in the middle of a vast lagoon. At the tip of the promontory, a bridge leads over the water to Porto Ercole and Santo Stefano. We briefly visited Santo Stefano, a pretty town with a harbour that wouldn't have looked out of place on the Amalfi Coast. We drove on. Our destination was an agriturismo near Grossetto, where we'd be staying for the next 3 days. We're just going for a nice walk on the beach. Where are we?
Castiglione della Pescaia.
Castiglione della Pescaia. So last night was quite an eventful night. Do you want to tell them what happened last night?
Io non ho dormito bene, tu?
No. No.
Nemmeno Holly ha dormito bene.
No, Holly had a very active night. We think she must have eaten something that she shouldn't have eaten.
Praticamente Holly non si è sentita bene questa notte. È stata una notte, diciamo, movimentata, ecco.
She basically threw up and had diarrhea everywhere. Oh God, the place that we're staying in. Luckily, it's all tiles on the floor, so it was all very easy to clean. But every time we woke up, there was more. And I took her outside at 5. We had half an hour outside, and it just kept going. She was like a little poo factory. Hopefully, she's feeling better now. I haven't fed her this morning, just so she can sort of get over it. She's running around quite happily, so hopefully she'll be okay.
Non lo so, forse ho sbagliato io perché gli ho dato da mangiare del pollo, quello che abbiamo mangiato noi, ma...
Yeah, maybe. Anyhow, so we were hoping that we could maybe visit a couple of properties down here. Now, don't get all hit up that we're not moving, we're staying in Positano, but one day we're not going to be able to do the 500 steps. So we just like to look at other options. And who doesn't love a good house hunt? So we thought we'd just spend some time looking at properties if we could, but it's not that simple. When I've been property hunting in England, which was years ago, I remember it was very, very easy. You'd phone up the estate agent, tell them which property you'd interested in. They'd arrange to take you either that day, the next day, but pretty quickly, and you could go and see the property. It doesn't quite work like that here. We found one that we were interested in, and Carlo phoned, and what did she say to you?
Mi ha detto che praticamente questa casa era da risistemare tutta e il proprietario non c'è, insomma sembrava fare un sacco di scuse per non farci vedere la casa.
Yeah, she was very unenthusiastic about it. It's not how I expect estate agents to be. But we might be able to go and see one on Thursday, which would be interesting.
Sì, vediamo se nei prossimi giorni saremo più fortunati e almeno se riusciamo a vedere qualche proprietà giusto per vedere che cosa ci offre qua. Sappiamo che in Positano non possiamo comprare niente perché non abbiamo abbastanza soldi.
We can't even buy a garage in Positano. And then just to reiterate that, the house that we live in Positano has been in his family for years. We did not buy it. We would never have been able to afford to buy a house like our one. And in fact, we can't afford to buy a house even now. If I was to buy a house, I would have to sell my property in England, which I inherited. So that's if we ever did it, that's how we do it. Where would you live if you had to move from somewhere with 500 steps and live somewhere where you could get around easily? Where would you live? Anywhere in the world, what would be your choice? Leave a comment below and let us know where your ideal home would be. So we've been driving along these long coast roads, and there's lots of beach clubs along them, but they're all closed for winter. It's very, very hard to actually find access to the beach, which for me is very strange. We've actually just left the car, you can see just there, down this long quiet road. And these are beach clubs all the way down here. There's a little horse thingy on this side, but all the way down it's beach clubs, and they're all gated and shut. But we've just found this entrance here, so we've left the car. Let's see if we can get onto the beach. It's become a mission now, and we had the same thing in Puglia when we went there in May. We found it very hard to actually get onto some of the beaches because it was all private, but yeah, looks like we can here. And it just looks lovely. This is why I wanted to come and see the beach, because it does look very, very nice.
Questa è una spiaggia lunghissima. Questo posto si chiama Punta, è un po' più a ovest di Grosseto. È un bel posto, ci piace qua. No, non penso che compreremo una casa in questa zona perché credo che sia molto costosa, ma è bello da visitare, quindi la visitiamo. Look that, sembra di stare ai Caraibi. A parte il fatto che ci sono 5 gradi e stiamo morendo di freddo, questo giubbotto non è per finta, è freddo. Adesso siamo a Follonica e ancora abbiamo spiagge, mare, palazzi, perché qui ci sono un sacco di palazzi. Follonica è abbastanza grande. Questo è Nicki.
Wait, let me take that off. Dear me, it was a bit windy before. Yes, it's full of really big blocks of apartments and flats, and half of it's empty. It's really weird. It's a bit like a ghost town here. And it all looks a bit abandoned and quiet. All the shops are shut. So we can cross this one off the list. That's one town down, thousands to go.
Sì, diciamo che Follonica non ci piace.
Non è per noi.
Non è per noi, ecco. Non sto dicendo che non è bella, perché poi...
It's probably totally different in the summer. Don't forget we're off season.
Sì, sicuramente.
Angles, darling, angles.
Oh, sorry. Vedi? Quando uno ha ancora tanto da imparare. Comunque, prima eravamo laggiù. Ecco lì. Lì è Punta. Adesso facciamo un giro, andiamo all'interno, non lo so se...
See what's there.
Se ve lo faremo vedere, perché ultimamente ci dimentichiamo un po' di fare le cose.
Okay, you can stop talking now. You don't need to talk all the time.
I need to speak more in English because you have a lot of problem with come si dice?
Subtitles?
Subtitles. Yeah.
I think I just have a lot of problems with you speaking too much.
I'm very lazy man because I able to speak in English, but I'm lazy. I'm Italian.
Okay, just stop talking. It's so much easier.
You don't have a need to read subtitles.
I don't have a need to read subtitles. No, I don't have a need to read subtitles for this.
To write, sorry, to write.
Yeah, but you can just stop talking anyway. We're on our way to see a house. So we spotted an advert for this house for sale, and we actually called the number, and the agent was very unenthusiastic about it. She said, oh, it's old, it needs redoing, you don't want that, I don't know if I can find the owners, I don't know if I'll be able to show you. She was totally not doing her job at all. So we decided we're going to go and have a look at the outside and see it for ourselves and see what we think. So come with us.
Sì, una cosa importante, interessante, sembrava che non voleva che andassimo a vedere questa casa, non capisco perché, sta lì per venderla.
Yeah, it's really weird. In England, estate agents are so enthusiastic and they'll try and sell you anything and convince you that it's the best thing ever. And she was just like, nah, you don't want that, go somewhere else. Really weird.
Ma forse perché gli abbiamo dato poco preavviso, abbiamo detto guarda stiamo qua 4-5 giorni, vorremmo vedere questa casa.
As what I remember it when I was house hunting in England, that's how it worked. You could sort of organise everything straight away. Anyhow, we're going to go and see if we can find it. We found it on Google Maps, so we know where it is, and we're going to go and have a creep around. I think we're nearly there. What a view. Okay, we found it. I wonder if we can have a look at the garden. This is the view from the front. Now, one bad point, very close to the road. No.
Vogliamo entrare?
We shouldn't.
Io penso che non c'è nessuno, è evidente che questa è abitata. Facciamo solo un giro veloce poi. Dai,
Oh, what, there's someone there?
ti difendo io se succede qualcosa.
Now, what I like about this place is it's got all these outbuildings and there's so much potential here. Look, it's got so much. it's got all of this field as well at the back, I think. Own olive grove. So this is the back of the house. It's a little courtyard here. Guest houses, workshop for Carlo.
Davvero tutto da rifare. Per esempio, se vede quel tetto là, si vede che ondula, è un chiaro segno che le travi di legno, che saranno di legno, sono marce, quindi sono da cambiare. Però la struttura è solida. Quella della casa è in eccellente condizione, ma penso che dentro sarà un disastro.
Non possiamo sapere.
No.
Ok.
Ovviamente non lo sapremo mai, perché penso che qui ci vuole troppo lavoro per sistemarlo.
Ok.
Se avevo 30 anni sì, adesso 56 no. Grazie.
Allora, andiamo via, let's go. That house is almost perfect, apart from the fact there's probably way too much work to be done and it's not exactly where I'd like to be. But I love it. I love the layout and the possibilities of all those outbuildings and yes. No.
Io credo che se la casa principale era, diciamo, abitabile e confortevole, poteva essere un buon acquisto, perché rimaneva da sistemare le cose fuori. E questo penso che lo posso fare con l'aiuto anche di qualcuno.
See, house hunting is fun, isn't it? Let's do more.
Sì, è divertente.
È bello cercare case.
Sì, anche sognare. L'importante è che le stai cercando senza fretta e quindi sì, per divertimento anche.
Ok, let's leave this one. I get attached far too quickly. Ok, time to go.
Dio, che freddo che faceva là fuori. Non sembra perché c'è il sole, ma è freddo.
Yeah. Grossetto is a city in South Tuscany in the Maremma area, 14 kilometres from the Tyrrhenian Sea. It dates back to Etruscan times. It has about 82,000 residents. The city is walled and the Medici walls date back to 1593. You can stroll along the path at the top. We walked the walls at sunset one day, and as the sky turned purple and orange, we passed dog walkers, runners, and a group of teenagers playing guitars. We really liked Grossetto. The main drawback for us was that it was a couple of hours' drive to the nearest airport, but other than that, we loved it.
Nei primi giorni abbiamo preferito un po' di vedere la costa, quindi abbiamo visto un po' di spiagge, che vedendo da un posto di mare volevo vedere com'erano qua le zone di mare. E oggi invece ci avventuriamo un po' inland, andiamo a vedere le famose colline toscane. Questo è molto più bello.
Esci dalla rotonda e prendi SR74.
This is Pitigliano. It is a town dug out of tufa. It's very, very old. We're going to go and have a look around. Pitigliano is about 80 kilometres from Grossetto and is a magical medieval town carved into the tufa rock on a cliffside. I'm told, even though I haven't seen it myself, it's an even more spectacular sight to see at night time. It is listed as one of the most beautiful villages in Italy. It's known as the Little Jerusalem because from the 16th century a Jewish community was formed with its own synagogue. During the Second World War, all of the Jews of the town escaped capture with the help of their Christian neighbours. We didn't realise until we arrived that on Wednesdays in the winter, most of the town is closed, but we did find one restaurant that was open. We just had lunch in this little restaurant here, which is in the main square in the sort of original old quarters of Pitigliano. It was really good actually. I didn't expect it would be, but it was a really good meal, and we met some lovely English ladies or British ladies in there as well and had a good old chat. One of them watches our videos, so hi if you're watching this one. But yeah, this was a really nice restaurant. It's right by the fountain here in the main square. Oh, we keep finding lots of lovely little corners, but they're dead ends. So we keep having to go back where we started from. We're in the old Jewish quarter. Little Jerusalem it's called. The synagogue and museum are just down here. Obviously it's closed.
Mi piace qui, è davvero carino. Quindi mi farà cadere,
Join us next week when we meet up with Marie and Lorenzo again. We visit a few more properties, discover the apericena, shop in the local markets, and tell you a bit more about an idea we've been thinking about for a while now.